While there are lots of oceanic and/or water-dwelling monster girls to discover and enjoy, none are ever as popular as the mermaid. We'll talk about those other lovely underwater ladies more in the future, but today, we're going to be focusing on the half-human, half-fish race that's well known today as it was in times of old. In folklore, a mermaid is an aquatic creature with the head and upper body of a female human and the tail of a fish. Mermaids appear in the folklore of many cultures worldwide, including the Near East, Europe, Asia, and Africa. The first stories appeared in ancient Assyria, in which the goddess Atargatis transformed herself into a mermaid out of shame for accidentally killing her human lover. Mermaids are sometimes associated with perilous events such as floods, storms, shipwrecks, and drownings. In other folk traditions, or sometimes within the same tradition, they can be benevolent or beneficent. While there is no evidence that mermaids exist outside of folklore, reports of mermaid sightings continue to the present day, including 21st century examples from Israel and Zimbabwe. Mermaids have been a popular subject of art and literature in recent centuries, such as in Hans Christian Andersen's well-known fairy tale, The Little Mermaid. They have subsequently been depicted in operas, paintings, books, films, and comics. The first known mermaid stories appear in Assyria, circa 1000 BC. The goddess Atargatis, mother of the Assyrian queen Semiramis, loved a mortal, a shepherd, and unintentionally killed him. Ashamed, she jumped into the lake and took the form of a fish, but the waters would not conceal her divine beauty. Thereafter, she took the form of a mermaid, human above the waist, fish below. Although the earliest representations of Atargatis showed her as a fish with a human head and arm, similar to the Babylonian god Ea, the Greeks recognized Atargatis under the name Dekurdo. Sometime before 546 BC, Milesian philosopher Anaximander postulated that mankind had sprung from an aquatic animal species. He thought that humans, who begin life with prolonged infancy, could not have survived otherwise. A popular Greek legend turned Alexander the Great's sister, Thessaloniki, into a mermaid after her death, living in the Aegean. She would ask the sailors on any ship she would encounter only one question: is King Alexander alive? To which the correct answer was, he lives and reigns and conquers the world. This answer would please her, and she would accordingly calm the waters and bid the ship farewell. Any other answer would enrage her, and she would stir up a terrible storm, dooming the ship and every sailor on board. Now, when someone mentions the word mermaid, most people envision a beautiful woman, who is also half fish, that might lure a man to his death. However, there are many different forms of mermaids throughout both modern and ancient folklore. One of these different forms is the sea bishop, a mysterious species of oceanic humanoids which have been illustrated in European bestiaries and natural human almanacs from the mid-16th century onward. In his 1554 book, Libre de Piscibus Manoris, French naturalist Guillaume Rondelet claims that a specimen had been observed in the Baltic Sea by a physician named Gisbertus Germanus in 1531. Some sources claim that this creature was brought to the King of Poland, who kept it in captivity until a group of bishops attempted to communicate with it. They soon realized that the creature was peaceful and wished to be set free. Its request was granted. The sea bishop gestured in gratitude and made the sign of a cross before returning to its native ocean. Next is the Marrow Maiden, a mermaid that can be found in Irish folklore. Marrow maidens are famous for their red or pink cap that controls their mermaid stature and separates them from other merfolk subspecies. The Marrow Maiden is like the commonly stereotypical mermaid, a gorgeous woman from the waist up and a fish from the waist down, her lower extremity covered with scales. They exhibit slight webbing between their fingers, a white and delicate film resembling the skin between the egg and its shell. Said to be of modest, affectionate, gentle, and benevolent disposition, the Marrow Maiden is believed to be capable of attachment to human beings, with reports of intermarriage. One such mixed marriage took place in Bantry, producing descendants marked by scaly skin and membrane between the fingers and toes. But after some years in succession, they will almost inevitably return to the sea, their natural instincts irresistibly overcoming any love bond that they might have formed with their terrestrial family. Merrow have also been known to lure young men beneath the waves, where afterwards, the men live in an enchanted state. Merrow music is known to be heard coming from the farthest depths of the ocean, yet the sound travels floatingly across the surface. Merrow maidens dance to the music, whether ashore or on the strand above the wave. Another lesser-known species of mermaid is the selkie, mythological beings of Scottish folklore, capable of therianthropy, changing from seal to human by shedding of their skin. These seal mermaids wrap their bodies in magical furs. Living off fish and wild animals, this species of mermaid is as active on land as they are below the waves, actively enjoying the act of hunting. The magical energy of these girls soak into the pelts that they wear, creating warmth that heats their bodies and allows them to live in the seas and on beaches that are freezing. They are also able to freely remove these magical furs, the body being revealed as that of a beautiful human woman. When like this, selkies are difficult to tell apart from human women. A typical folktale is that of a man who steals a female selkie's skin, finds her naked on the seashore, and compels her to become his wife. But the selkie will spend her time in captivity longing for the sea, her true home, and will often be seen gazing longingly at the ocean. She may bear several children by her human husband, but once she discovers her skin, she will immediately return to the sea and abandon the children that she loved. While most mermaids are thought to be half woman and half fish, there are other variations of the creatures that vary widely in shape, form, species, and temperament. Tropical mermaids are a rare subspecies of mermaid found within tropical waters, usually within or around coral reefs. Tropical mermaids resemble many tropical fish because of their often bright coloration. Freshwater tropical mermaids usually get their bright coloring from iridescence, a property that makes their tail appear to change color as the angle or view of the light changes. While saltwater tropical mermaids usually get their tail colors from pigmentation, a property that makes the tail reflect different lights. The reason tropical mermaids are brightly colored is because those are the colors that they require for survival in their particular habitat. They use their colors and flashy tails to blend in with the bright aquatic plants and are generally coral colors. Sirens are also a subspecies of mermaids. They originate from Greek mythology and are widely known for being capable of singing songs so enchanting that it could lure sailors to their deaths. They are also notable for having 2 fish tails as opposed to 1. The original sirens were women that were half bird instead of fish that lived by the sea, luring sailors and their ships into the rocks surrounding their home. Like the sirens, there are also variations of the mermaid which are far more threatening than any other have become comfortable to imagine. One of these variations is that of a mershark, a race of mermaids with the characteristics of a shark. These monsters are extremely ferocious just as they look, which is a rarity for the mermaid family since most of them have a fairly docile disposition. They have sharp fangs and strong jaws, and it is said that they are even capable of biting through iron chains and gnawing holes in the bottom of a ship. Another less popular variation of the mermaid is that of the eel-type mermaid, a type of mermaid that is said to live in the Zimpangu region of Japan. They have the body of a long, slender fish covered in a mucous membrane. The slimy mucus secreted from their body contains many compounds that restore vitality and stamina. In comparison are the lamprey mermaids, a mermaid subspecies closely related to the eel mermaids. While they are known for their preferred diet of sucking blood from other beings, lamprey mermaids can subsist on the same diet of conventional mermaids. In Japanese folklore, lampreys are called Yatsume unagi, also known as 8-eyed eels. The name is derived from the 7 external gill slits which each side of the lamprey's head contains, along with their actual eye. This makes it look like they have 8 eyes on each side of their face. Folklore in some other countries include the lamprey's nostrils in the count, calling them 9-eyed eels instead. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like for even more Monster Girl files and Monster Girl related content. Monster hunting isn't easy, but somebody's gotta do it.